Peace and blessings, my cosmic conscious creators. Once again, welcome to the channel. Today, we want to discuss why it is not better to give than to receive. It's often said it's better to give than to receive, but we say it's always the energy behind the action. It's not the action itself. We have to look at the essence, not just the form of things. So we want to look at the energy behind giving and the energy behind receiving. We know you can give in a stingy manner and you can receive in an ungrateful manner. So is that really giving? Is that really receiving? You can give with a lack mentality, or you can give out of an abundant mentality, and you can receive in an ungrateful manner, and you can receive in a gracious or a grateful manner. And we know what we give thanks for, what we appreciate grows. So it's all about the energy we're sending out into the universe when we perform these actions. First, about what is your being? How are you being before you do? So you have to first start with, are you being? How are you being before you do? Let's talk about giving from an abundant mentality. If you're giving from an abundant mentality, you understand that everything is interconnected. As you give, so shall you receive. You shall reap what you sow. So you're giving out of your overflow, and you know it's going to come back to you. Energy has to circulate. It circulates. So if you're giving in this way, with that knowledge, that awareness, that consciousness that what you give is going to come back to you, and you're not worried, you don't feel like you're taking away from yourself, you're not depleting yourself. You live in an abundant universe. You're going to be restored back to whole. Nature abhors a vacuum. And so as you give, you're going to receive it back anyway. So you're not giving from this lack mentality that you actually feel like you're taking away from yourself. You're actually giving to yourself as you give to another. We're all interconnected. So when you give to another, you're also giving to yourself. As you enrich somebody else, you're also enriching yourself. And so there's a universal flow of energy. So what you give always comes back to you. Okay? So that's abundant mentality. A lack mentality, of course, thinks that our resources are scarce. There's a limited supply. So when you give to somebody else, you're actually taking from yourself. But so this abundant mindset, this abundant mentality, you believe in infinite possibilities, infinite ways, infinite resources. You're not in competition with anybody. What is coming to you is going to come to you, and there's an infinite possibilities. Whereas, that lack mentality, that lack mindset, there's finite resources, there's finite possibilities. And so you're struggling with other people, you're in competition with other people. Whereas the abundant mindset, you believe in cooperation. We're all working together, we're all one, right? I do for my brother as I do for myself. I do for my sister as I do for myself. So some of the ways you can share from your abundance, you can share your knowledge, you can share your experience, you can share your time, you can share your monetary resources, right? These are all different ways you can share out of your abundance. We have skills, we have our time. You can share a compliment that may boost somebody else's energy. So it's different ways we can share out of our abundance, and we can give to another, and it doesn't always have to be, a monetary exchange. So the benefits of this abundance mentality is we're training ourselves to see the abundance. The more we're grateful for what we have, and the more we're aware that there's infinite possibilities, the more we're able to see these infinite possibilities. And we also are vibrating at a different level. We're resonating at a different level. We're going to attract other people who also have that same mindset, who are also in that giving framework, in that giving mindset. That love you give to another, it creates this ripple effect. You're boosting up somebody else's energy, you're boosting up somebody else's vibration, and then that's reflected back to you. Maybe not with that person, but that person touches another person, and you attract that to you. You attract those loving, those kind sorts of people, those kind sorts of interactions. You look out for them. If you believe in an infinite possibility, you believe in an infinite world, you're more likely to recognize those opportunities when they come to you. You not only attract them to you, but then you're also able to recognize them, because it's also about being aware of opportunities when they present themselves. Some people can see problems when it's really solutions, whereas other people see solutions. It's about you're aware. For example, training your subconscious to be on the lookout for opportunities to give, and then you also training yourself because you know it's a infinite possibilities for it to come back to you. You're also training yourself to look out for opportunities to receive. Okay, because you believe in infinite possibilities, infinite opportunities for everybody, and you believe in a universe that's working out in your favor, you're gonna find more favorable circumstances. So let's talk about receiving. That's the other end of this cycle. You know, we need to keep the cycle of energy going. We need to keep that energy flowing. So some people are great at giving and not great at receiving, right? So, but you need both. You need a giver and a receiver. So you also, to keep that energy flowing, you also have to be great at receiving. You have to be in a position to allow others to give to you. Some of us are, you know, maybe you're a parent or maybe you're an older sibling. You're used to giving to others. You're not as adept at receiving from others. In order to keep this energy flowing, this cycle of giving and receiving, and not to cut off the flow of energy, you also have to be great at receiving. You also have to be um, willing to receive from others, receive help from others. And you accept help from others in a gracious manner. Are you, how do you respond when somebody gives you a compliment? How do you respond when somebody gives you an opportunity? Do you see it as an opportunity? We can block our blessings if somebody's open to giving to us, but we have a mentality that we have to be so independent, and it's this Superman or Superwoman complex or identity, or you know, I'm totally self-reliant, I'm totally independent, when really we're all interdependent, we're all interconnected. So you're actually cutting off the flow of energy with this mindset that you have to do for self all the time, or you have to be super independent and you have to be self-reliant, and you're not willing to accept help from others or even recognize when somebody's trying to help you. That can be a block to your growth, because we know teamwork makes the dream work. So you have to be able to receive in a gracious manner. You have to be able to extend yourself to even asking for help. Not always looking at things that you're going to do solely by yourself, but look at who can help you with your goals and start to think bigger than yourself. Start to think of doing things collectively rather than doing things individually. This is going to prevent burnout. And so you want to be able to receive with gratitude, and you're actually allowing that other person to feel good, because people feel good when they're able to help somebody. So you're giving to somebody else as you're receiving. But if you're only receiving in a way where you're doing it half-heartedly and not wholeheartedly, and you're only receiving as a last resort rather than a first resort, and you're holding on to this identity of being self-made or a superman or a superwoman and you can do all by yourself, then you're not receiving wholeheartedly. And so you're not receiving all the energy. You're not allowing that person to give into you fully. Okay, so you're blocking that energy. You're blocking your own growth, because we grow collectively. We don't grow as individuals because we're all connected. So you want to receive in a gracious manner. You want to be able to ask for help. You want to be able to receive that help. And you want to be able to recognize that help is coming and not blocking your blessings by holding on to this mentality that somebody is going to take away from me, or somebody has ulterior motives when they're coming to help you. So some ways we want to work on our gratitude. Some ways we can work on our gratitude is keeping a gratitude journal, being grateful for the things, for the abundance already in our life, being grateful for the friends, the family, the helpers, whether they be physical or non-physical, that come into our lives. So we want to practice gratitude. Even a small thing, when somebody gives something to you, just saying thank you. Just, you know, getting into that habit of saying thank you. Getting into that habit of, you know, giving thanks on a daily basis just for the things you already have. When you're in a state of gratefulness, the universe provides more for you, provides more abundance towards you. So, you know, you're just activating that abundant energy when you're in that state of gratefulness. Practicing that gratitude, just the simple act of saying thank you to others, being appreciative of the relationships you do have that are positive, that are beneficial, positively reinforcing that into your own subconsciousness, and you're also positively reinforcing that relationship, that type of relating, that positive relating with that other person. So, you know, rather than focusing on the negative in a relationship, You want to give thanks and give gratitude for the positive ends of a relationship, and what you focus on grows, what you appreciate grows. So if you focus on the positive things somebody else is doing, or you focus on a positive, the universe is like a person too. You focus on a positive you're getting from the universe or a person, you're going to get more of that. It's called positive reinforcement. You're also reinforcing it in your own subconscious. So now you're on the lookout for these positive things to happen. You're creating this cycle, you're creating this momentum, right? You start to vibrate at a higher frequency as you're in the state of graciousness, in the state of gratefulness. And then you suddenly attract more things to be grateful for. I want to encourage you to take a moment. You could take a moment right now or after you finish watching this video to think about 5 things you're grateful for. I want to encourage you, make that a daily habit. Create a gratitude journal, whether it's the first thing in the rising or the last thing when you're going to sleep. Write down 5 things you're grateful for. That's definitely going to increase your vibrational frequency. So you start to create, you're going to realize you're going to attract more things into your life to be grateful for. So right now, you can just take a moment, pause the video or after the video, and just think about, what are you grateful for in your life? Focus on the good things, focus on the positive things in your life. You'll attract more of those positive things, more positive things into your life. So it is not better to give than to receive. It is not about whether you're giving or receiving. It is about the energy behind the giving or the receiving. Are you giving from an abundant place, and are you receiving from a grateful place? It's about the energy behind the action. We don't want to get caught up in the action. Both are necessary. It's like two ends of a magnet. You need both. You need to be a giver and you need to be a receiver. If you're giving but you're not receiving, you're cutting off the flow of energy. If you're receiving but you're never giving, you're cutting off the flow of energy. So we want to keep the universal flow of energy flowing. So you want to flow with the energy. You need both. You need to be a giver and a receiver, or you're going to block your blessings. Your blessings come from spreading the positive energy. So it's about the positive energy behind the action. You could be a stingy giver, or you can be an ungrateful receiver. Either way, you're blocking the flow of energy. So you want to be an abundant giver and you want to be a grateful receiver. So it is not better to give than receive. It is not necessarily better to give than to receive. So if you like this video, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this with somebody else who will find some wisdom in this video. And until next time, remember to be a conscious creator. Blessings on your day. Be an abundant giver, be a grateful receiver.